Next up, we have Grace Hughes. So Grace is a senior content designer at Fjord in the Dock in Dublin. She says she works in that beautiful, messy intersection of people and language and technology. Grace is going to talk to us about content design as a collaboration.
Hi, thank you. So I'm a content designer, and a lot of my work is thinking about the content at the heart of the products and services we create. And a lot of the work that I do is actually based around writing. And very often, far too often, I feel like the outsider looking in on the design process. Saw this quote from Erica Hall, who wrote conversational design, and it really resonated with me. Unfortunately, we have a situation where writers are alone, distant, divorced from the rest of the design process, sitting in an attic somewhere, laboring over the content they're creating, worrying that it's actually going to make sense and work for the product. And the symptom of this divorce between the content and the design process, one of its main symptoms is lorem ipsum, which I know some of you love, so I'm sorry. But this use of lorem ipsum is indicative of that divorce, glossing over content. So we need to change. We need to start thinking about content, thinking about the words at the start of the design process. We need a revolution. So this is like my angry copywriter face. We need an end to lorem ipsum. In fact, the only kind of lorem ipsum I will accept is gangster lorem ipsum, which exists. Woo! But seriously, we need to start thinking about content at the start, because believe me, that will lead to a lot less problems at the end. There's a couple of ways we can do that. For a start, why not try sketching with words? So when you create your flows, when you create your designs, use real content, or as close to the real content as you can, instead of lorem ipsum. Not sexy, not fun, sometimes brain-meltingly painful. Write glossaries together. Describe the words that you use in your interface to refer to your system. Abby Covert from Etsy talks about this. You can also write lists of the words that you don't say, like the New Yorker magazine, which forbids the use of New York finest and zeitgeist. I propose a list that forbids the use of low-hanging fruit and going for it. Thank you. John Sato, a wonderful UX writer in Dropbox, also suggests writing a thesaurus for words that you use often in your interface. This is a really great way to help to write varied, rich content and to share that with the rest of the team, not just content designers. Sarah Richards, had to get her in, author of Content Design, talks about writing in pairs, to work closely with a technical expert and iterate and work through drafts together. This collaborative approach to content design is really important now in an age of conversational design, voice interfaces, where content, language is the interface. My own experience of creating voice UIs has been a really, really collaborative process. That when I'm on a team, embedded in a software engineering team, and we're working together, but with, pushing the boundaries of the technology. If you're creating a chatbot, for example, there's stuff that you can do together before you even write one line of code or one piece of content. You can think about that bot. What does it do, think, and feel? How do you want to approach it together and decide on it together? There's a kind of an emerging field of what I like to call content science that Sarah Richards is spearheading. And that's about understanding how people actually take in information and what's the science behind that, and having that inform the content that we create. What's the ideal sentence length, for example? Another really exciting for nerds like me decisions around using and or an ampersand. And the good news is that Sarah Richards is spearheading readability guidelines. So we'll have like a universal style guide that we can use. Ways that we can help to make the content process more collaborative and more fun is not by using marked up Word documents. They're hell. They're not fun for anybody. Why not use really simple, lovely, beautiful platforms like Dropbox Paper, I'm sure many of you are, Google Docs, Gather Content, where you get fun icons and things that make the process of collaboration much easier and much more fun. In my own work recently, we took a kind of a magazine editorial approach to review. Instead of the aforementioned marked up Word documents, we just stuck all of the pages of the website up on the wall, threw people in a room for an hour, and got them to stick up notes on what they were seeing. So this is like an attempt to kind of visualize the content design process, which starts with chaos and craziness and works towards creating a story. But the thing about it is that it's something that we do together, and we work at the language together, and the language in turn helps us to work too, and it makes better projects. Thank you. Sorry.